Things looked pretty bleak for the Tribe last night after the Reds took a 2-1 lead in the 10th inning. But late into the night, an Indians hero emerged. In the air to right field. Back is Bruce. Still going back. He's out of room. It's out of here. The Indians win it with a walk-off home run from Asdrubal Cabrera. And now they'll beat him up in the dish. Now the first place Cleveland Indians look for the sweep and a split of the Ohio Cup. And who better to have on the mound than Justin Masterson, who will try to keep them in first place next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, it's the Indians and the Reds one more time as they put the wraps on their season series tonight here at Progressive Field, and the Indians will try to make it a 3-game sweep. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. You know, just a couple of days ago, Sunday afternoon, Asdrubal Cabrera had one of the worst games of his career, committing 3 defensive errors, and then rubbing salt into the wounds. He was thrown out when he didn't hustle out of the box at second base on a ball that should have been a double later in the game. But what do you know, 2 days later, he's the toast of the town.
Well, Asdrubal Cabrera has been as consistent as you can get. He had a 3-1 count last night, and he went to his strength. Chapman throws him a low fastball. Cabrera puts a nice short swing the other way. Here's a hit earlier in the year that was a walk-off hit for Cabrera, and it was a big hit last night because you thought they were doomed, only going to score 1 run. The big home run by Cabrera, and you can look at his numbers throughout the course of the year with runners in scoring position, 327. From the 7th inning on, he's very clutch, and he has been consistent every month, and also played very good defense for this team. So Asdrubal's been solid.
The word you threw out there from your best player on the team, consistent. And I think that speaks volumes of being a leader. He goes out, leads by example. He's been very consistent from day one. All right, let's take a look at our Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup tonight as Justin Masterson will try to pitch the Indians to a sweep.
Well, another guy that's been consistent. In his last 10 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings. It's been the offense where they haven't been able to get him any runs. In his last 8 starts, they have not scored more than 2 runs for this guy. If they can go out early, get him put a few runs on the board for him, I think he'll do just fine. You can see in his last 2 starts, he's been great, but only 1-1. He'll be matched up against right-hander Bronson Arroyo. In his career, 5-4 in 8 starts against the Indians, and the Indians have to come out and they got to try and sweep tonight.
Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. So the Tribe sitting on top of the American League Central Division standings, swept in Cincinnati by the Reds last week. They'll try to return the favor here tonight. Back with all the play-by-play action coming up next. Field in downtown Cleveland on another warm night for baseball. Tribe going for a sweep. Let's take a look at Dusty Baker's starting lineup. It's brought to you by Kia. Zach Cozart, Chris Heisey, and Joey Votto at the top. Brandon Phillips riding a 9-game hitting streak will bat cleanup. Then Jay Bruce and Scott Rowland. Todd Frazier starts in left. Willie Harris gets his first start in the series batting 8th, and Ryan Hannigan will catch and hit 9th.
Justin Masterson making start number 15
3-6. He's been pitching very well. His last 10 starts, he's pitched at least 6 innings.
.88 degrees, our game time temperature tonight. Cozart lifts a high pop into shallow center. Michael Brantley coming in. 1 out.
Let's look at the Indians' defense, which is brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, with 4 convenient locations and the best selection of Chevrolets in Northeast Ohio. Damon back out in left field. Brantley is in center, Chu in right. Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short. Lopez gets the start today at second because Kipnis gets a day off. Kochman at first, Marson behind the plate.
Chris Heisey looks at ball 1 from Justin Masterson. Oh, and he drills him. And so Heisey will take his base with 1 out here in the first. Seventh batter hit by a pitch this year from Justin Masterson.
Right in the thigh.
You know, Rick, some fans might wonder why give Kipnis a day off when you've already got the day off tomorrow? Well, that's precisely why. From Manny Acta's perspective, you give him 2 days off in a row. I mean, he's played every day.
Yes.
He's been, really carrying a good-sized portion of the offensive load for this club.
Well, he has. You deserve a day off. I mean, mentally, physically, if you remember the last trip, he had the bum knee. He banged his shin a couple of times. There's certain times where you just need it.
Double play ball. Lopez to Cabrera on to Kochman to end the inning. So Joey Votto hits into the twin killer, and Masterson breezes through the first. First inning, let's take a look at the Tribe starting 9, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo, 5 for 9 in the series. Good career numbers against Bronson Arroyo leading it off. Then last night's hero is Drupal Cabrera. Michael Brantley hitting third. Santana, Lopez, Kochman in the middle. Johnny Damon back in the lineup batting 7th. Chisenhall 8th, and Lou Marson will bat 9th and do the catching.
Well, Bronson Arroyo on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds, with a reminder to go to Indians.com and cast your ballot for this year's All-Star game in Kansas City. He is making his 14th start and a record of 3-4, 384 earned run average in his 82 innings, 91 hits, 58 strikeouts, and in his career against the Indians, 5-4. This is his first start against them this year. Fastball, big, slow curveball, changeup.
And that big high leg kick. Strike over the outside corner. Bronson Arroyo, a guy who has really worked at the art of pitching and constantly tinkering, making adjustments on the fly.
Well, that's where when you can help yourself and you're your own pitching coach a lot of times, and you can feel, you know, he doesn't have the normal style delivery, a high leg kick, and throws different pitches. And, you know, your normal pitcher, you make adjustments on the fly.
Sidearm delivery that time, but Chu whacks it down into the right field corner. And he's on his way to second base with a leadoff double. So that little change in delivery didn't do anything to offset Chu. In fact, it might have got him to zero in a little bit more.
Well, Chu, I mean, has had good success against Arroyo, and that ball down and in right in his wheelhouse at 78 miles per hour. Looked like a little breaking ball. And Chu bangs it down into the corner. His 21st double. That takes the team lead. And Masterson sitting in that dugout saying, come on, boys, let's go. I need a few runs. Look at that. 4 homers, and all 4 of those homers came in 2010 when he won the Ohio Cup Outstanding Player of the Year, or the most outstanding player.
Those 21 doubles for Chu now. Tied for third in the American League. Ian Kinsler, Adrian Gonzalez began the day with 22 each. A lot of day baseball today, so some of those numbers could have changed already. As Drupal Cabrera blisters one foul. He was the man of the night in the 10-inning win last night, facing Aroldis Chapman in a 3-1 count, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Cabrera just put a nice short swing on the ball and sent it out of here to right.
Well, he put, when you're in a 3-1 count and you can eliminate doubt of what pitch you're going to get, and you know the guy throws 100, so you turn it up a little bit, but he did put a nice short swing on the ball and hit it out the other way. Watch the swing, it's down, and he just stayed on. He just made sure he was short and quick to that ball, and Chapman supplied all the power. And Chu got on. He had a 3-1 count and also hit a fastball. And then we have mentioned it time and time again. Doesn't matter how hard you throw. The hitters will catch up to it when they know it's coming. Sometimes.
Arroyo with a 1-2. Popped him back towards us. Going to be just down into the seats in front of us. Well, and you talk about eliminating doubt, and what did Drupal tell Katie last night after the game? I knew it was going to be a fastball.
Yeah.
I was looking fastball. I knew it's what he was going to throw. The 1-2 pitch. Fights it off, but into shallow left where Todd Frazier is there to make the catch one away.
Take a look at the Reds defense brought to you by Home Depot. Frazier in left, Heisey in center, Bruce in right. It'll be Rowland at third, Cozart at short, Phillips is at second, Votto at first, Hannigan behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Ron Culpa calling the balls and strikes. DJ Rayburn at first, Jim Wolf at second, the crew chief Darrell Cousins down at third. Michael Brantley 3 for 7 in the series, couple of doubles. An opportunity to give the Indians an early lead.
Look at that speed pitch. 70 mile an hour, the curveball. He changes speeds on that. He will throw that at different variations, some a little harder than others. So, you know, that curveball could be 3 different pitches. It could be at 70, it could be at 74, and it could be at 78.
He will throw it regardless of the speed with a lot of conviction. Slowly tapped by the mound. That's what you needed from Drupal Cabrera. And now there are 2 down as Chu slides over to third. The injury report tonight brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Talked to Travis Hafner before the game today. He was taking batting practice yesterday. Felt really good. Hit again today. Did some running yesterday. He said he feels like everything is right on schedule. If not, maybe even a little ahead of schedule. So that certainly is good news. Carlos Santana, 3 for 8 with a double in the series. Looking for a 2-out base hit here in the first inning. One of the things that Arroyo has had to overcome, as is the case, I'm sure, with a lot of pitchers, as you get up in years, the velocity isn't where you once had it and where you still expect it to be. And so he's had to overcome the fact that he can no longer light up that radar gun and just pitch to his strengths now.
Well, and then you're going to command becomes the utmost importance. When you can command that 87, 88 mile an hour fastball and you have the curveball at 70 and higher. You use 2 different pitches. You know situations. You know hitters' tendencies. There's a lot of different ways to pitch. I think a lot of pitchers now, and you know, they have to learn after coming off arm surgery, Tommy John surgery. If you're just a power pitcher and you end up having to have Tommy John surgery, then you have to come back and learn how to pitch, and that's even tougher than if you have it before you know how and command all your off-speed pitches.
Well, we've seen it from so many different pitchers over the years, guys who don't throw hard but consistently have good command. They can still survive, and they can still make hitters look foolish.
Case in point last night, the matchup. Tomlin
and Mike
Leake. They were both fantastic.
Yeah, and between the two of them, 91 mile an hour tops with their fastball.
They were both very good. They were fun to watch. After a game where the ball was flying around this ballpark, those 2 pitchers last night really pitched very well.
Runner at third, 2 down, bottom of the first. Santana with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And it's popped up foul, out of play. And what a guy like Arroyo can do is almost lull you to sleep with that slow breaking ball, and then all of a sudden his fastball, while it's only 86, but it gets on you a little quicker. Big curveball missed a little bit high and wide. Full count. Jose Lopez will get a chance if Santana keeps the inning alive. Arroyo's payoff pitch. Hit in the air to right. Back a few steps. Jay Bruce grabs it. Inning over. Leadoff double does no damage. No score after 1. McDonald's Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Trying to beat the heat here at Progressive Field. No score, second inning. Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce, Scott Rowland coming up for Cincinnati. And Masterson with the first pitch strike.
Masterson now on a 12-inning consecutive scoreless streak. That's the second longest of his career. Last year he had a 15-inning streak, but he's had a very good slider recently to go with that hard sinking fastball.
Back to the screen. Now the two-strike pitch. And Phillips gets a piece of that to keep himself alive.
This is the fourth start for Justin in interleague play this year. His first start against the Marlins on the 18th of May had a no decision. He went 7 innings, only gave up 2 runs. St. Louis, he pitched to Jim. 7 innings, gave up the 1 home run to Beltran. It was a loss. And then he beat Pittsburgh, shutting him out in 7 innings.
Routine roller to short. And as Dribble Cabrera throws it over, 1 down. Stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. In his 3 starts so far in June, look at Justin Masterson with a 1.80 ERA.
Yeah,
but
don't look at that last line. That's something that he can't control. That is out of his control. He's
Good
controlling everything
he
can with his game right now. And that's, I mean, the timing, they needed him. Earlier in the year, you remember him and Ubaldo, they were all over the place. They were almost 1 and 2 in the league in walks about 3 weeks ago or almost a month ago, and they both have fine-tuned it. They've gotten back in the strike zone.
Got him looking. What a pitching sequence for Masterson. And Jay Bruce can do nothing but walk back to the dugout, 2 down.
You know, and you would think that if you're going to have a chance, you'd have a better chance as a left-hander. Because on the year, left-handers are hitting 291. Righties just 215. But there's some good movement on that sinking fastball, and Bruce takes it. It'll be the first strikeout for Masterson.
Scott Rowland, 2 for 8 in the series. Takes a look at a ball just a little bit wide of the mark. Slowly bounced to third. Chisenhall comes in. Fields fires, got him. And the Reds go 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. No score, bottom of the second inning. For the Indians, Jose Lopez, Casey Kochman, and Johnny Damon coming up. Bronson Arroyo delivers a little bit high, ball one. Slow breaking ball, so tantalizing. Lopez couldn't lay off it at
that was
67 miles an hour.
He wouldn't even got a ticket on the interstate. It didn't even break the speed limit. Look at that. High hanger, but you're so far out in front. Right-handers on the air, 236. Against Arroyo, left-handers, 322. He has given up 13 home runs, so it's just a matter of, getting a feel, location. He'll change arm slots.
That's drilled foul. Two and two the count now. Tried to throw a dart by him, and Lopez just shot the ball out of here, foul the other direction. Got him looking, and Lopez thought Ron Culpa might have given him a little benefit of the doubt there on the outside part of the plate. First strikeout for Arroyo. First time tonight. Let's check in with Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, the next bobblehead giveaway will be Wednesday, July 4th. Make sure you're here so you can pick up the Sandy Alomar Jr. bobblehead. The first 15,000 fans through the gate will get to take one of those home. If you don't have your tickets yet, you can log on to Indians.com and get them now. Matt.
Thanks, Katie. Here's Casey Kochman. There's Sandy Alomar,
indeed.
Indians bench coach. Kochman 3-for-7 in the series with a home run. And Arroyo gets ahead in the count 1-2. Kochman hitting in 5 straight. Those 2 home runs during his 5-game hitting streak, the first homers he has hit at home this year. Ripped foul.
Well, now he can take that. He got the goose egg off the board at home, take that road show out and hit a few more on the road. We'll be out there for 10 days.
Yeah.
Heading out tomorrow night to Houston for 3. Head to New York for the first time and only time this year for 3. And then on to Baltimore for 4.
And then back home it'll be July.
Yep.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncer to second. Brandon Phillips flips it over. 2 away. Last year, Bronson Arroyo relied much more on his changeup. He said that last year, by this time, he'd probably thrown about 100 changeups, and this year maybe he's thrown 10. So he's a guy who, as I mentioned earlier, will tinker a lot, not only in game, but season to season. He'll change his approach and how he goes about attacking hitters, and I guess that's all in the name of trying to stay one step ahead. Keep him guessing. fouled away to the left and out of play. Johnny Damon sat out last night's game after he was banged up in the series opener when he went hard into the sidewall down in left field. Way up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. New York Yankees had their 10-game win streak snapped last night by Atlanta, and the Braves doubled up and beat them again today. 10-5 the final score in the Bronx. A little bit low. A lot of home runs hitting that game. Ball was flying.
Oh, it can fly out of that ballpark, as we well know.
Speaking of flying, apparently the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks hooked up this afternoon. Arizona beating Seattle 14-10 in the desert. Are you kidding me? 30 hits in that game.
Yes, sir.
Damon might have broke his bat, and he bloops it in perfectly for a base hit. Second hit of the game for the Indians, and a 2-out single keeps the inning alive. That's the definition of hitting one off the end, isn't it?
Yeah, but it goes down. If you're going to break a bat, that's the way you want to do it, on a base hit. Down and away. It was a pretty good pitch by Arroyo. Johnny able to keep his hands back just enough and just took it the other way. That's where, as a pitcher, you go, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it'll make him have to work to get out of the inning. He's got to face Lonnie Chisenhall, who's swinging a better bat here of late. Series opener, Chisenhall a single, a triple, a home run. Rocketed foul. And now Lonnie down on the count, 0-2. Up and in with a fastball, and it's 2-2.
A lot of those fastballs that he's throwing, anywhere between 86 and 88, they're all in, they're up, they're all show pitches. It looks like he really attacks you with the breaking ball.
See if that's what he gets right here. You bet. He hung that one in. Chisenhall lines it into right field. Stopping at second is Damon. And back-to-back 2-out singles here in the second inning.
You know, just watching him go at it now with all the left-handers the Indians have, it's almost like you want to spit on his fastball. I wouldn't look for it to hit, because you see that one stayed up in the zone and made it easy for Lonnie to get after it. It's back-to-back singles for the Indians. You know, that fastball, he almost shows you more so than double up on it. And he's got the little slider and the breaking ball. And maybe sit on that pitch and you take the fastball. Force him to maybe throw more.
You almost figure that's the approach for Lou Marson, who likes to take the ball to the opposite field. Lou takes a strike. Cubs will try to finish off a sweep of the White Sox tonight on the south side of Chicago. The White Sox trying to stop a 3-game losing streak. One ball, one strike. Two on, two out, 1-1 pitch. And Lou looks at another strike. '25th pitch of the inning coming up here for Arroyo. And he strikes him out. Indians strand a pair, no score through 2. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. No score, third inning. Justin Masterson, through the first 2 frames, has made 16 pitches. Bronson Arroyo, his counterpart, has made 43. He had to really work for it to get through that second inning. And again, you go back to Johnny Damon. He didn't, as you said, he didn't get much of it. A little broken bat flair, but boy, it forces him to have to work a little bit harder.
Right.
And Chisenhall gets a base hit, and then the pitches are starting adding up.
Well, that's the first time through too. Now it should change. They should have a better idea of their approach. We'll see if a few of the Indians hitters make adjustments to Arroyo.
Up high, Todd Frazier, 0 for 7 in the series with 4 strikeouts. Broke his bat, bounced to third. Chisenhall stays right with it. Pulled Kochman off the bag, but Casey, with some good footwork, able to tag out Frazier, one away. Our trivia question tonight brought to you by AT&T. What does Redbird come up with here tonight? Name the only player in Indians history with 30 or more homers and less than 70 ribbies in a season. A lot of bombs, not a lot of runs batted in, though. We'll have the answer later in the game. Weak bouncer to first and another easy out for Justin Masterson. 2 down.
Boy, I love to see this from Justin early in the game. You know, a lot of times his problem has been the first inning. He breezed through that, got the double play ball after he hit a guy. And right now, sitting with 8 outs and 21 pitches for him is great. For anybody, for that matter.
Yeah, you're less than 3 pitches per out. You're dealing. Ryan Hannigan, the Reds catcher, looks at ball 1 down low. Cardinals Tigers scoreless in the third up in Detroit. Those Tigers are playing better baseball of late. They've won 3 in a row, and they've closed to within a game of the 500 mark, just 2 games in back of the Indians in the division. Hannigan tied up a swing and a miss. It's 2-2. A couple of days ago in Milwaukee, it was Toronto that had back-to-back-to-back home runs against the Brewers. Today, the Brewers had 3 home runs in 1 inning as they turned the tables on Toronto and beat the Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah, that ball's been flying out of there.
Swing and a miss. Hannigan goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Masterson. And once again, he retires the side in order. No score, bottom of the 3rd inning. Top of the order due up here for the Tribe. Shin-Soo Choo doubled to start the game for the Indians, but wound up stranded at third. Indians have left 3 on through the first 2 frames.
Choo, we showed you the numbers in that first at-bat. For some whatever reason, really sees Arroyo very well. I mean, hitters have pitchers like that. Pitchers have hitters that, you know, they can throw anything up there. They're not able to hit them.
There's that sidearm delivery again, and Choo fouled it off. 1-2 the count.
Well, he's thrown a couple of those sidearm deliveries that have been able to get inside, and that was 74. Get inside on the left-handed hitters. He got Cabrera, and he also got Santana. Look at that.
That's ripped to right field. Fair ball down the line. Bruce over to cut it off, but not before Choo will stroll into second base with his second leadoff double of the game.
Go ahead, Choo. Put on a clinic. Second double. Watch him pull his hands in here when he gets a pitch. That was in off the plate. After he threw him the slow pitch, watch his hands work. Get in there. Nice job. I mean, he didn't hit the liner, but he got enough of it to get it down the line. And Bruce out in right field couldn't track it down before Choo hits his second double. And again, that was a leadoff double like he did back in the first.
Well, as you pointed out, he didn't hit the line drive, but he kept it fair.
Yeah, he pulled the hands in so well, that ball didn't have any hook to it.
Throw back not in time.
Boy, and I think right now it'd be a great time to at least get Masterson the lead. Make sure you get him over and get him in, because Justin's throwing the ball great.
Cabrera with a liner to center. Heisey able to make the head-high catch, and once again, Cabrera can't get Chu over to third base.
Well, he hit it hard. It was just straight away center field. He hit it right on the nose.
Minor League Report brought to you by University Hospitals. Hey, Jason Donald, congratulations. Hit for the cycle last night for the Columbus Clippers. They beat up Charlotte 13-2. Jason Kipnis' last hit for the cycle for the Clippers back in September of 2010.
I remember. Didn't they just call him up when they did that? When Kipnis did it? It wasn't his first or second game, I thought. I'll tell you what, Donald must have read in the paper that Chisenhall just missed by the double, so he decided to go get it.
You know, I was just thinking, Rick, looking at that date, that was in the playoffs because September 17th.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he had just gotten called up. It was one of his first few games up there.
Michael Brantley ground out his first time up. One and one to count. Time called. Michael Brantley with a hit in 25 of his last 26 games. You know, sometimes, Rick, you see a guy and he had a long hitting streak snapped and then they go into just maybe a mini funk, but he's picked right up.
Well, it's easy to do because when you think of a 22-game hitting streak, everything's going your way, you know, for quite a while. But if you recall earlier in the year when Brantley was struggling a little bit, he was hitting balls on the nose twice a game and nothing was falling for him.
To short, off-balance throw by Cozart, won't get him. Brantley beats it out for an infield single, and Chu able to move to third, so good aggressive base running on both ends for the Tribe.
Yeah, it was a good read by Chu to get over to third base. A lot of times if that ball's hit in front of a base runner, he'll stay put and will stop. But that's knowing where the shortstop is before the ball is hit. His only play was over at first base, and he couldn't get enough on, and that enabled Michael to beat it out. Gave him that one extra step, not being able to plant and throw. So now the Indians will have runners at the corners for Santana.
Carlos flied to right his first time up.
Yeah, you got to call timeout. He's sitting there locked, and Arroyo's just making him wait. Got that bat above his head, and he's making him tense up.
He takes, and it's ball one. The infield single by Brantley gives the Indians 5 hits so far in the game. 1-0 pitch. In off the plate, 2-0.
I'll tell you what, if Michael Brantley can get a jump over there, I wouldn't be surprised to see him off and running with the first and third situation.
You figure Arroyo's a guy you can run on. Carlos trying to drive one to East 9th Street.
Yeah, giving him the hole right now. 2-0 count. It's tough to sit on a fastball 2-0. I'm telling you. And he got one, but he got a little long with it.
Nothing happening on the base paths. He had him reaching for it. 4, 6, 3. How about that? That's just the second double play Santana has hit into all season long. He's the 4th hardest player to double up in the league. No score, 4th inning. Justin Masterson with a first pitch strike to Zach Cozart, who flied to center his first time up. Up and in, the count 1-1. Back out of play.
Well, it's time to send out some birthday wishes. We have a lot tonight. Jeff Russell is turning 30. Jeff's our friend from that works his sweets here. He brings his water in, so he hit the big 3-0. Jeff, congratulations.
Yeah.
And also working with us up here, Lula Boykin. Her birthday today. Got to get her a little pack of M&Ms for the night.
Ground ball to short. And Asdrubal Cabrera will throw out his counterpart one away. Kind of tough to put candles on M&Ms, though.
That's true, but she likes them. She likes them a lot.
Well, if you're looking for a $100 gas card, all you have to do is log on to STOHD.com, courtesy of your Northern Ohio Shell retailers and True North convenience stores. We'll have one winner drawing each week from now until September 26th. By Chisenhall down the left field line. First hit of the game for the Reds. Chris Heisey will hold with a long single. Good effort by Chisenhall, but that ball was hit pretty hard. Really,
well, he's playing him up in front of the bag for the possible bunt, and he hits it hard enough to get him by him, and that's the benefit. You see where he's at, he's on the grass. If he's back a couple of steps, he catches that ball on the backhand side, but that's the benefit of, if you can possibly put a bunt down, they have to come up on the grass, and when you hit one that hard, you can get it by the third baseman.
Joey Votto bounced into a double play his first time up and looks at a first pitch strike. League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. Joey Votto leading the big leagues with 30.
He's in a class by himself. He leads the National League in 11 different categories.
Marston's throw to second in plenty of time. He was waiting for Heisey to slide. Wow. Cabrera applying the tag, 2 down. Not even close.
Well, that's what you like. Lou Marston came straight up, got rid of it quickly, and it was right on the money. We're going to make this our McDonald's. I'm loving it because I love that throw. Look at him. Cabrera was sitting there with a cup of McDonald's coffee waiting for him to apply the tag. There it is, second out of the inning.
And a 2-1 count now for Joey Votto. And takes a strike at 92 miles an hour, but you can see that fastball has movement on it. Fouled that out of play. He wants it in tight. Missed with his location. But you see that quite a bit with Masterson just because he has so much movement. He might be aiming for a certain spot, but it just might not go there.
He can aim outside. That ball runs inside. He could miss it by 1.5 to 2 feet at times. We see him.
That's bounced to first and a big hop. Kochman stayed right with it. And he flips to Masterson to end the inning. Middle of the fourth. Still scoreless. Still a scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Rick, I don't know if you noticed it, but as Votto was running down the line, he was screaming at himself. Maybe just the fact that Masterson's had his number 2 at-bats in a row, and not many pitchers can make that claim this year against Votto.
You're certainly right about that.
Jose Lopez called out on strikes his first time up. Sends one high in the air. Over near the line, Jay Bruce for out number 1. Now Votto hit into a double play his first time up, and then he beats that one into the ground. Now watch him. Slams the bat down into the ground.
I think he's mad he rolled over on that sinker instead of trying to. He hits the ball so well the other way. I bet he was telling himself, look, take him up the middle, go the other way, and stay on that moving fastball away, and he rolled over on it, and he's upset at himself. Don't get him mad. Not until he leaves here.
There's Casey Kochman, grounded out his first time up. Jose Lopez is 0 for 2 tonight, both times leading off an inning. Coming into that at bat, in this series, Indians hitters leading off an inning were 11 for 21. A lot of that has been Chu. Well, I tell you what, guy in the front row upper deck made a nice catch on that foul ball off the bat of Kochman. No bobble, he just stuck the landing.
that was like a swing like Shelley. He was so far out in front of it. He pulled, I mean.
Yeah. '60th pitch of the night for Arroyo. Now he goes the other way. He goes from pillar to post, way out in front. Now he waits back, serves it down the line, but he'll be held to a long single because Frazier was able to get over to the line and cut it off.
Yeah, that's a good adjustment right there. He ended up pulling that ball so badly, and then he gets something upstairs, and he just slaps it the other way. I love the way he did a nice job. He was thinking double, and then he made the turn, he picked it up, and then he stopped it. He was about a third to a half of the way to second base, still able to get back. He saw that Frazier made the throw and got it back, and he was able to get back to first base.
But you pointed it out. It doubles, you said this to me years ago, doubles are made out of the box. Triples, doubles. If you Cadillac it first couple of strides because you assume something, you're not going to make it.
Right. If you break out of the batter's box every time, like you're going to hit a double instead of just a single and then cruise down there, you're in better shape. It's a mindset. You can always stop and put the brakes on and go back. But you run hard to first base every time, and a lot of guys don't do that.
You're right. You're exactly right on that point. It's unfortunate, but it is the truth. And I was watching a little bit of the Yankees game today. They were on, I think they were on the MLB network.
They were.
And here's Derek Jeter. What is he, 38?
Yes.
Almost 39 years old. Hits a ground ball to third, and I mean as hard as he could possibly run, and it was bang, bang play at first base.
At 30. And you know what? He does that because he did it his whole life, his whole career. That's just the way he plays the game. And that's the way it's supposed to be played. You know what? You hit a ground ball. If you go 0 for 4 and you hit a couple of ground balls, you have to run to first base 4 times a game.
Yep.
If you make outs.
And all it takes if you're running hard is one bobble, and you're going to beat it out.
You never know when it could happen. You could do it 100 times, and it may never happen the first 99. But on that one time you dog it down the first baseline is when they bobble it.
2-1 pitch. And it's my contention as this ball sails just over the top of the Reds' dugout that guys don't jake it down the line because of a lack of effort or because they're tired or because they're lazy, but most of the time it's because they're frustrated. Because they wanted to hit it hard, and they're like, oh. And so instead of busting it, they let the frustration boil over.
No, you take your frustration out on your run to first base.
They should.
Well, right. I mean, physically, get down and run. I mean, take it out. Run like you are upset with yourself.
Two. Damon drives it deep right field. Bruce back over his head. Goodbye! Johnny Damon with his 3rd home run of the year. And the Indians take a 2-0 lead.
Looked like Damon picked on a hanging breaking ball as well. The 14th home run allowed by Arroyo. Watch, they want to go up and in. He gives them swinging room. It stayed up, out over the plate. Didn't get it where he wanted to, and he was been able to get inside on a couple of left-handers, so Damon gives the Indians a 2-0 lead. Already 7 hits by the Tribe, and that's 4 hits the second time through.
Yeah.
And when you look at Bronson Arroyo, I told you they'd make an adjustment that second time. But when you look at him, 225 hitters are hitting off him the first time through the lineup, over 300 the second. 303 to be exact.
Well, Johnny Damon, 2 hits on the night. He's bumped his batting average above the 200 mark. So Damon goes over the Mendoza line with the 2-run homer, and the Tribe takes a 2-0 lead. A little bit high to Chisenhall. Lonnie got a hanging breaking ball his first time up and singled to right field with it. Now he's sitting on a 3-0 count. And Lonnie thinking maybe that was a little low. It's a called strike and a full count.
It certainly wasn't a good pitch to swing at a 3-1 count.
Arroyo, 70 pitches on the night. 47 of those have been strikes. And the payoff to Chisenhall is inside ball 4. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt, Rick, they're through 4 innings now in Detroit, just 1 run, and it came off our old friend here, Jake Westbrook. This a base hit by Austin Jackson. It's a double. Scores Gerald Laird easily from second base. The Red Hot Tigers, they're up 1-0 heading to the 5th in Detroit. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Here is Lou Marson. Struck out his first time up. Lonnie does have 2 stolen bases, but I don't know, Rick, when you look at him eventually, when he becomes an everyday player, I don't know if he's a guy that'll steal you a lot of bases.
He doesn't look like it to me. I haven't seen him play on a consistent basis to where you may want to start him, but base stealing's quickness, and it's also picking the right pitches and situations and where you're hitting and part of the lineup. He may get a couple of stolen bases from lack of not paying attention earlier, but once you start stealing bases, they pay attention to you. It gets a lot tougher.
The 2-0. To your point, I just was listening today on the radio. Coco Crisp set a record, I think, last night for Oakland. 36 consecutive stolen bases. Ricky Henderson never did that.
Right.
But he also stole a lot more bases and ran a lot more, too.
Yeah, he would take off. I mean, when he stole the 100, I think he was thrown out about 30-some times, 35 times.
3-1 to count. And plus, think about how many times they threw over. They probably throw over 4 or 5 times.
Pitch out, throw over,
Like you said, your first baseman and back in your day, they'd slap that tag down as hard as they could.
Yeah, they'd beat you up. This would be a good time to start him. 3-1. Be a great time.
Lonnie takes off. 3-1 pitch hit in the air center field. Heisey back. Still going back, and he will run it down. And Chisenhall will retag the bag and retreat.
Well, he did the right thing. He was off and running. Marson got a pitch to his liking and hit it well. But Chisenhall got to second base, stayed on second base until he was able to see Heisey catch that ball, and then he just comes right back. I like the action pitch right here. 3-1, start him. Don't wait till 3-2. There's Chisenhall in your picture. He sees if it gets over Heisey's head, he's at second, and he's going to be able to come and score if it gets over his head. It doesn't, but he stayed at second. He's able to get back to first base.
Shin-Soo Choo, 2 for 2, 2 doubles. Looks at a ball down low. Choo has hit in 4 straight plate appearances now in the series.
He had the hit back in the 10th inning to get it going and become the tying run on first base. A 3-1 pitch off Chapman yesterday. He's really done a great job in the leadoff spot. He's been like a different hitter. He looks a little more aggressive to me, and he's been up there for about a month.
Well, and he has his spells. Remember the Pirates
Everybody
series?
does.
He didn't hit, but man, he turns it right around here.
You're not going to say, you're not going to do it every day. There's going to be times where you do slump. He'll hit a little drought where he swings through pitches and hit a little strikeout slump. But He's been very good at the top of the lineup. I like him up here. Unfortunately for the Indians, when you look at their lineup like Chu, like Cabrera, like Kipnis, those guys are forced to play every day. You can't give them a break, rarely. Today Kipnis gets one, but you know they're on a grind, and they are going to tire down. I mean, mentally you get tired. You got to go out there and throw it on the line every day. You know, it's going to wear and tear on you over the course of the year. We're only in the middle of June. Today's the first day of summer. There's a lot of baseball to go. Tommy's telling me 34 starts in the leadoff spot for Chu, and he's hitting 310.
Just a little bit inside. 3-1 to count.
Now he has himself in another good hitter's count.
Well, what they've done a great job of here is make Arroyo throw a lot of pitches. He's already up to 80 with 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Well, and that second time through, they were 4 for 8. Hit 500 off him that second time through, and it goes up in the third time.
Sidearm curveball misses wide. 2 on, 2 out.
I don't blame him walking Chu because Chu has just worn him out.
Brian Price, pitching coach, going to go out for a chat as Drupal Cabrera coming to the plate. And Cabrera's had a tough time with Arroyo so far. 0 for 2. He's flied out twice.
Well, say with the KeyBank Grand Slam 4-pack, it's a terrific value for any family. You'll get 4 seats in the mezzanine level right next to the kids' clubhouse. 4 dogs, 4 Pepsi products, 4 caps, and a parking pass, all for $96. Log on to Indians.com/kids for the details. Give me an opportunity to finish our birthdays for today, too. Bob Wintersteller of Lyndhurst. Happy birthday to you. Louise Daniel of Akron is turning 86. Bobby Chapman of North Richland Hills, Texas is 53. And Lloyd and Mary Lavin of Orlando, Florida are celebrating their 60th anniversary. Congratulations to you.
Johnny Damon's 2-run homer here in the 4th has the Indians on top as Drupal Cabrera trying to cash in now after Arroyo has walked a couple. And as Drupal looks at a strike.
Boy, a nice 2-out base hit would do wonders right here. Because the 2 guys on base now, Arroyo put him on there via the walk. And that's when the Indians really seem to have a good offensive outburst, is when they get their walks.
Rip just fouled on the right side, a little bit out in front of it. And now is Drupal down on the count, 0-2.
See, he got underneath that breaker. He's had a lot of breaking balls belled high, right up there to hit. Little spinners.
Arroyo steps away before the 0-2 pitch. Hannigan was set up off the plate. Looked like maybe they were going to try to get Cabrera to chase. Fastball drilled. Deep right center field. Bruce back, and it's gone. As Drupal Cabrera with a 2-out, 3-run homer makes it a 5-run 4th for the Indians.
Well, he got him. He made him pay. The 2 walks come around.
They wanted the fastball up out of the strike zone, and Arroyo threw it right down Broadway.
Yeah, look at, there it is. Up about letter high, shoulder high, and no, it comes down and in, and look at him. He turned on it. So back-to-back nights for Cabrera, hitting the long ball, and this is a big one because it makes it a big inning. A 5-run inning for the Indians. And a couple of home runs in this ball game. That's very big right there.
And Michael Brantley looks at ball 1 up high. fouled out of play.
You know why they wanted it up there? That was an 0-2 pitch.
Sure.
So let's throw it out of the zone. Don't throw it in the zone. He did, and he paid for it. It's the 8th time the Indians have scored at least 5 in an inning this year.
But the walk set up the big part of the inning. You get the 2-run homer early, but then the 2 walks.
Yeah, that's when the Indians are at their best. When you walk and give them extra base runners, and it was at the bottom part of the lineup. And then Chu, I understand Chu, because he wears them out. But then you get a big 2-out base hit, and that caps a 5-run inning. And Justin Masterson's got to be thrilled. First time in the last 8 games they've scored more than 2 runs for him.
Alfredo Simon up warming for Cincinnati. And Arroyo still not out of the inning. The 8th man to bat is Michael Brantley, and he's got a 2-2 count. Infield hit his last time up. Right back to the screen. Boy, it just goes to show you, too, though, even major league pitchers with all the experience of a Bronson Arroyo, sometimes even when the target's set one spot, they miss it completely.
Hey, they miss their targets a lot of times. You get away with it. Sometimes you don't.
Heisey will run that down to end the inning. But the Tribe playing home run derby here in the 4th. Johnny Damon drills a 2-run shot as Drupal Cabrera with a 3-run blast. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Panini's, with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress, made right here in Northeast Ohio. And by Kia. Indians now with a 5-0 lead over Cincinnati as Brandon Phillips will lead off for the Reds.
That is very tidy right there.
He's allowed just 1 hit. Phillips takes a strike. He was leaning back out of the way.
Well, it's one of those things when you're leading off an inning after a team comes back and has a big inning like the Indians have, you don't want to make 1 out on 1 pitch. You almost want to make him throw in this, a strike, because he's been sitting in that dugout for a while.
Casey Kochman can't hang on. Oh, I tell you what, that would have been a terrific over-the-shoulder grab.
That would have been like a wide receiver running down. That's a tough play. Is back to the infield.
That would have been your Dave Casper catch right there.
Watch this. Comes down with the big glove. It hit him right on the heel. He tried to cradle it. He had his second hand around there trying to catch it, just couldn't do it. Tough play. Good try.
0-2 count on Phillips. Popped him up. Shallow center. Out goes Jose Lopez, and the second baseman has it one away. Lopez, no stranger to second base. 956 career games played there. In his career, at 648 of them, he's appeared at second base. So more than 2/3.
Yeah, that's a comfort level for him.
Bruce to first. Kochman, the flip. Masterson tags the bag. 2 quick outs. Well, our buddy Jimmy Hanlon and Tee It Up Ohio giving you an opportunity to play Firestone South 1 month before the Bridgestone Invitational. 1 day only, July 2nd. Proceeds benefit the First Tee program. Log on to STOHD.com. Playing spots are going fast, so jump on the opportunity while you can.
So far for Justin, 9 Cincinnati hitters have gone down on 3 pitches or less.
Well, and the one thing you could say if you're partial to Cincinnati, you could say, boy, they need to be more patient. Or
no, they don't.
He's pounding the strike zone, though. He's not. They're not chasing balls all over the.
You're absolutely right. They're doing the right thing. You don't want to get Masterson behind 0-2 because his stuff is so good. He's made some quality pitches. They've hit some balls. They've hit them hard. But he has good stuff tonight.
1 hit allowed. He's struck out 2. He's hit 1 batter. That's hit pretty well. Deep right. Back is Chu. Sprinting back. Oh, what a catch! He hangs on to end the inning. Shin-Soo Choo. That ball was over his head, but he reached up, somehow snared it to end the inning.
Indians lead at 5-0, and buy your tickets early. Save on seats for fireworks. It'll be on July 3rd. You can celebrate the 4th with great baseball against the Angels coming in from L.A. and fireworks set to your favorite patriotic music. Log on to Indians.com for the tickets today.
Alfredo Simon on for the 17th time this year. No wins, a loss, ERA 2.19. He's punched out 27 in 24 2/3 innings. Indians sent 8 men to the plate in the 4th inning. Carlos Santana will lead off the fifth. 0 for 2 on the night. One ball, one strike for Santana. That's popped up foul and probably playable for Roland. It is one down. Game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Johnny Damon with a 2-run homer in the fourth, and then later that inning, after Arroyo walked a couple, Asdrubal Cabrera a 3-run homer with 2 outs, making it a 5-0 game. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Jose Lopez 0 for 2. The 4-inning outing for Bronson Arroyo equals his shortest outing of the season. May 28th, the game against Pittsburgh. He went 4 innings and allowed 4 runs on 8 hits. He also allowed 5 earned runs in a game at Houston back on June 3rd. So that equals a season high in earned runs allowed. Lopez, fair ball down the line. Jose on his way to second base. He's going to have to dig, throws offline though, and he'll go in safely with a 1-out double.
Right down the third baseline. He tried to come back inside with something, and Lopez was ready. Smokes it inside the bag at third, so another leadoff double. A third one, oh, that's a 1-out double, I'm sorry.
Popped him up. Shallow center. Tough play. Phillips back to home plate. Look out. Oh, what a sliding catch made by Heisey. Well, I'll tell you what. Heisey made a terrific catch, and how those two avoided smashing into each other is beyond me. Phillips just got out of the way.
You know what? He realized he wasn't going to get it, so he sort of gave up on that ball, realizing the only one that was going to get there is Heisey. And it was a right move. Look at him. He thought about catching it. He hears the footsteps, and he comes in and picks it up right before it hits the ground. Terrific play. Yeah, that's one of those balls that nobody can call for it. You got to come in and just see what happens, but you don't collide. Good play.
Johnny Damon, 2 for 2. Single and a 2-run homer, and he skips out of the way of the pitch from Simon.
Now the Indians on this homestand with the 2-out runs back in the fourth inning have scored 13 runs on this homestand with 2 outs.
Simon finds the strike zone, 2-1. White Sox Cubs scoreless in the second inning at U.S. Cellular Field. Outside 3-1. Tigers and the Cardinals tied at 1. They're in the 6th at Comerica. Out of play, full count. That's ball 4. Johnny Damon draws a walk. And the inning stays alive. 2 on, 2 out for Lonnie Chisenhall. And Dusty Baker can't like seeing that after what happened last inning. The 2-out walk turned around and bit the Reds when Asdrubal Cabrera hit a 3-run homer. Curveball in for a strike. 0-1 the count on Lonnie Chisenhall. That's hit to first. Votto has the big hop, takes it himself. Inning over. Tribe strands a pair through 5. It's the Indians 5 and the Reds nothing.
In the Subway Extreme Fan Zone with Eric, today's $25 Indians Fun Money winner. Eric, you guys are here from Massillon, St. Joe's, 45 people, and yet you win Subway. How's it going so far?
This is a fantastic night. Awesome night. 20-plus years we've been doing this. It doesn't get any better than this. This is great.
Absolutely. He takes home $25 Fun Money winner. You can use it anywhere. You can be a winner, too. All you have to do is buy tickets to sit out here in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. Subway, where winners eat. Guys, I'll send it back over to you.
Anytime you're hanging out with Katie, there's fun money involved. 5-0 Indians, top of the 6th inning. Bottom third of the Cincinnati order due up here. Todd Frazier, Willie Harris, and Ryan Hannigan. Frazier a swing and a miss. He's grounded to third his first time up. That's the 49th pitch of the game for Justin Masterson. Cincinnati pitchers have made 106. He's been some kind of efficient here tonight.
Yes, he has.
Keeps pounding away at the zone.
That's 50 pitches, and he has 35 strikes. God, you love that.
Strikes him out. Third K for Masterson. One down here in the 6th.
There you go. Another moving fastball gets Frazier to swing and miss. Look at that. That thing just moved. He started that ball on the outside part of the plate and comes back into the inside.
A little bit outside to Willie Harris, who grounded out his first time up. Well, let me be the first to wish you a happy summer solstice.
Oh, we've been onto the calendar now.
This is it, first day.
First day of summer, so this is the longest day of the year, right?
Yeah. According to what I read, the sun will not set officially until 4 minutes after the hour 9 o'clock here in Cleveland.
When's the next full moon?
You'll have to ask Teen Wolf.
Yeah. I did talk to him today about that.
The sad thing, though, for those of us who make our homes here year-round, we're one step closer to winter. That's the glass half empty look at it. Harris fights it off.
I love it when it stays light here till 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, baseball season, that sun peeks in early in the game. Between mid-May and the end of June is really beautiful.
Now the 2-2. Ground ball to second base. Lopez, an easy play. Throws him out, 2 down. All right, time now to get the answer to our AT&T trivia question tonight. 30 homers, less than 70 runs batted in. A lot of solo shots. Brooke Jacoby.
Yeah.
1987.
Yeah, I remember that year.
It was the summer of the Sports Illustrated jinx.
I think he said would he have 27 solo shots? 27 solo home runs. Now the hitting coach for the Reds.
And another one of his teammates, Corey Snyder, a hitting coach in the Mariners organization. A 1-2-3 inning. Justin Masterson just rolling along here tonight. He's faced the minimum through 6. All right, we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Tribe on top 5-0. Justin Masterson with a 1-hit shutout through 6. For the Indians, it will be Lou Marson, Shin-Soo Choo, and Asdrubal Cabrera. Now Alfredo Simon, who worked a scoreless fifth despite giving up a hit and a walk, will stay on to pitch the 6th inning. Now, the first game of the series was like good old-fashioned backyard baseball. Yesterday, more pitching dominant. But in the series now, the Indians have banged out 16 extra base hits. Five of them here tonight. I think they had, 8 in the series opener?
Yes, they did.
It was
8.
a new season high.
Uh-huh.
Certainly good to see. We'll go to Houston on the upcoming road trip. That's a pretty good hitter's park for the most part, especially to left field.
Well, just bring their hitting shoes with them like they usually do on the road.
Good breaking ball in for a strike. Another curveball, and Marson just looks at it, strikes him out. One down. Well, Katie Witham caught up with the new Cleveland Browns quarterback, one of their first-round picks this year, Brandon Whedon.
Well, Brandon, I know you were here throwing out the first pitch today. Being out on the mound, nothing new for you. You spent 5 years with the Yankees pitching in the minor league system. Did it bring back memories?
Oh, absolutely. Being out here, first of all, just for BP. Seeing all the pitchers shagging balls, it was kind of different, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I went down with Shelly Duncan underneath in the batting cages down there, and I was throwing strikes. I felt it. I was in the mood. I was in the groove. So anyway, he was like, "Man, you're good to go." So I went out there and just kind of let it rip. I was going to lob it, but I said, "You know what? I'm here. Might as well let it rip." And didn't throw a strike, but it was pretty close.
You looked pretty good. I was watching out there. Now, with the Cleveland Browns officially, I know you guys just finished up mini camp. How's it going for you, and how are you liking Cleveland?
I love Cleveland. The fans have been great. The city's great. My wife's came up. We've kind of got a lay of the land. We know where we're going to live, and it's starting to feel like home, which is good. Practices have gone extremely well. As far as football, we've got a really good football team, and a lot of young guys that I think can contribute and help score a lot of points and win some games. So, there's a lot to be excited about, and I'm just excited to be a part of part of it.
Now, we mentioned your professional baseball career. Do you feel like that experience, the time that you had with that, will help you now being a professional football player?
I think so. I think, you grow up so much when you're a minor league baseball player because it's not real glamorous. You gotta mature on your own, and when you go back to school, it's it really is. It's a life-changing deal. And my 5 years with baseball, I think, has really prepared me how to prepare to get ready to play on Sundays and how to go about my business. And those baseball days were irreplaceable. I don't miss it, but it's really helped me get to where I'm at today.
Well, we are glad to have you now in Cleveland. Brandon, thanks for the time.
All right, thanks for having me.
Guys, back to you.
As Dribble Cabrera flies to deep center field to end the 6th inning. Tribe goes 1-2-3. Indians in command, though, 5-0.
on Sugardale Dollar Dog Night the other night. You've got another one coming up on Thursday, July 5th. Dollar Hot Dogs, once again, presented by Sugardale. You can log on to Indians.com to get your tickets. While you're there, make sure to check out season tickets. We still have great seats available, great packages that will ultimately save you some money. Indians.com/season tickets. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back over to you guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. 7th inning, 5-0 Cleveland. Top of the order for the Reds. They've had 2 base runners tonight. It's been Chris Heisey both times. He was hit by a pitch in the first. He was erased on a double play. In the fourth, he had the only hit of the game for Cincinnati and then was thrown out trying to steal. He's due up second is Zach Cozart. Steps back in with a 1-1 count. That'll even it up at 2-2. Blooped into shallow right. Here comes Chu on the move. He makes the running catch, and he stays up. Out number 1 here in the 7th. Our highlight reel is brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. And Justin Masterson with 11 ground ball outs. He's been tremendously efficient coming into the inning. 61 pitches and 41 of those were strikes.
Yeah, this has been about as good as you're going to see Justin. He has been outstanding tonight.
He's had a 6-pitch inning, 2 10-pitch innings, a 9-pitch inning, and 2 13-pitch innings. You have a game like this as a pitcher, and you're probably wondering, why can't it be like this all the time?
Well, it's not going to be like that all the time. But you know what? I want to see him finish it off. I'd love to see him complete the game here.
Well, he's got an opportunity.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's given himself an opportunity to go out there. You have some good innings early in the ball game. This is one where you can just take. If you give that bullpen a night off, and then they have tomorrow off, and they're ready for a long road trip. I mean, so this is good for him.
Yeah.
I want to see him finish this.
He's right at 70 pitches on the night. Joey Votto waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. He got him to go fish. 4th strikeout for Masterson. 2 down in the 7th.
You got him to go fish. There's the slider. That's a nice tight slider at 85. Started it off the plate, and it stayed right there, and just right at the end, wrinkles off. Strikeout number 4.
Joey Votto. Now, granted, we've only played the Reds 6 times this year. But in those 6 games, this is the only time we've seen him frustrated. Lines one to center.
That's the swing he wanted to put on the last one. That's why he threw his bat down right there, stay up the middle, go the other way, and he put a good swing on that baseball. That's the kind of hitter he is. Look at him. He was not going to roll over on that sinker this time. You see him stay inside of it and just stroke a line drive. That's why he's a .369 hitter coming into today's game, and he leads the National League in 11 offensive categories.
Brandon Phillips 0 for 2 on the night. Phillips has grounded out and popped up. Some guys hollering down there, double play, Phillips.
Well, that's right. Hit into a double play. It'll give him 4 outs.
I think it's about time to cut the beer sales off for somebody. 1-0, bang, foul, third base side. Final home game in the month of June for the Indians. They'll come back here July 2nd to open a series against the Angels. One delivery. And a little bit up and away. 2 balls and a strike. White Sox Cubs are scoreless in the 3rd inning at U.S. Cellular Field. Cardinals lead the Tigers 2-1 in the 7th at Comerica. How about that, Rick? Cardinals have 10 hits, but just 2 runs.
Yeah, those guys have pretty good power, too. You think they'd mix in a couple of homers there.
Meanwhile, Boston at home against Miami has 12 hits, and they've scored 12 runs.
Yeah.
12-5, they lead the Marlins. The 2-2. Phillips fouls it off. Now Justin delivers the 2-2. And another foul back by Phillips. One of the better at-bats of the game for the Reds. This next pitch will be number 80. And Phillips just spoils it to stay alive. Another nice catch. Boy, the guys in the upper deck brought their A game today. Two. Right back to Justin. He'll flip it to first to end the inning. Masterson continues to dominate Cincinnati. He's given up 2 hits through 7, and the Indians lead it 5-0. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic. Join the free walking program. Let's Move It. Mondays at Progressive Field and the Metro Park Zoo. Visit letsmoveit.org for more information. 5-0 Cleveland as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. And a look at the crowd tonight here at Progressive Field from our Panini's camera. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Well, a warm night, 88 degrees at game time. Just a light breeze blowing out towards center field. And the Indians have dominated at the bat. They had one big inning in the 4th, a 2-run homer by Johnny Damon, a 3-run shot by Asdrubal Cabrera. And Justin Masterson has made it stand up with a 2-hit shutout through 7. Michael Brantley 1 for 3 tonight. Rolls over it to first, and Votto's there, 1 away. As promised earlier, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Johnny Damon's 2-run homer in the 4th inning staked the Tribe to the 2-0 lead. Then after a couple of walks and 2 outs in the inning, Asdrubal Cabrera just did clear the wall for a 3-run shot.
Both those home runs basically the same, didn't they? They hit on top over the yellow line and skipped into the seats. That's all right. It looks like a 500-foot shot the next day in the paper.
Boy, a much better swing this time up from Carlos Santana. Stayed right on the ball. Drove it the other way for a 1-out single.
Yeah, stayed on that baseball going down and away. Had his timing together, got that front foot down. Strokes it to left. Hit number 10 for the Tribe in the first tonight for Santana.
Jose Lopez doubled into the left field corner his last time up. Sends a sky-high fly ball into center. Heisey has it, 2 away. Well, thanks to those 2 home runs hit tonight by the Indians, Rick and I have each made another donation, as well as Great Clips, who's donating $50 for every homer hit this year by the Tribe to the Gathering Place. We've raised $3,540 so far. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Casey Kochman 1 out of 3. Very nearly had himself a second hit back in the 5th inning. But a nice play by Heisey, the center fielder. There's a called strike to even the count at 1-1. Big chopper to first. Nice backhanded stop by Votto. Almost threw it away to second base. And then they call him safe. He bobbled the ball. Jim Wolf said that Zach Cozart juggled the ball at second base, so Santana is safe. The inning stays alive. Kind of a head scratcher of a play by Votto, though, with 2 outs. You just turn and go to the bag, and the inning's over. Dusty Baker out to argue. And he's not going to change Jim Wolf's mind. He's probably just out there blowing off a little steam and frustration. Why doesn't Votto just turn and go right back to the bag?
The easier play is just flip it to second base. He's going that way with his momentum.
I don't know about that call either by Jim
Wolf. Did his foot come off the base or what? It looked like he had control of the ball. There he's bobbling. He's bobbling. He's got it. He's out. He's out. I mean, that's not even close. Why would you call him safe there?
I'm not really sure what Jim Wolf saw that we didn't. But they've got 2 on with 2 out, and Johnny Damon at the plate.
Who do they give the error to is what I want to know.
Got to be the
Votto?
shortstop.
No, it's Votto.
Yeah, but he had the ball and then was juggling.
I know, but it was called. Unless, hold on, you want to borrow the whiteout? It may change. It was called on Votto.
I mean, I understand the throws in the dirt, but he had the ball and then juggled it after he had it. So
he was out to begin with.
Well, then there's that.
Let's give the error to the umpire.
Jim Wolf. Damon looks at the ball. And it's 2-0. Alfredo Simon, 3rd inning of relief. Fires a strike inside corner, and it's 2-1. Up high, 3 balls and a strike. Kochman at first, Santana directly in front of him at second. And the 3-1. Bullseye, full count. Crowd of better than 23,000 tonight here at Progressive Field. Making some noise now. The runners, Santana and Kochman, will be off with the 3-2 pitch. Eventually. Now the payoff. Ball 4 and they're loaded. Going to bring up Lonnie Chisenhall, who is 1 for 2 on the night. Well, earlier, Katie Witham may have seen her interview with Browns quarterback Brandon Whedon. The Cleveland Browns brought their entire draft class to the ballpark tonight. They had them all over northeastern Ohio. They took them to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, kind of a get-to-know Cleveland sort of a day. And all the guys are here enjoying the game in a suite. Talking to a number of them before the ball game here tonight, including Jake Anderson, an offensive lineman undrafted out of Akron, trying to make the football team, who's an Indians fan from Erie, Pennsylvania. And then Brandon Whedon, it was interesting talking to him because he spent so much time trying to be a professional baseball player. As a pitcher, he was with the Yankees.
Like he said, you have to learn on your own when you're down in the minor leagues. There's no glory down there.
Traded to the Dodgers as part of the Kevin Brown deal back in 2004. Fouled away. Then he was a Rule 5 pick with Kansas City. And then he decided it was time to give football one more chance. So he went to Oklahoma State. 5 years there. And now, the Cleveland Browns quarterback. Bases loaded, 2 down here in the 7th inning as Lonnie Chisenhall tries to bust this baby wide open. Missed inside. One-two delivery. Driven to right field, a base hit for Chisenhall. Santana scores. Here comes Kochman. Damon waved around third. He's coming home. Lonnie Chisenhall clears the bases with a 2-out, 3-run double. And it's now an 8-0 Indians lead.
Well, that call is going to come back and haunt him. But Chisenhall gets a high breaking ball to his liking with 2 strikes. He was down in the count 0-2 and put a beautiful swing on the ball and drives it to the right field wall. It gets down there. All 3 will score for Chisenhall. Give him 3 more ribbies. And that's the double he needed the first night of this series. And it is now 8-0.
Dusty Baker has gone to his bullpen. Alfredo Simon just gave up the knockout punch, and the Indians are in command 8-0. Bottom of the 7th, 2 down. Chisenhall's at second base. Lou Marson's coming up, and he'll be facing J.J. Hoover.
Well, a big base hit there for Chisenhall. That just poked a hole in this one. And I think that 5-run fourth did the way Masterson's been throwing the baseball tonight, but the Indians trying to return the favor of sweeping the Cincinnati Reds at home. It's exactly what Cincinnati did to the Tribe last week.
Little bit off the plate. Yeah, it's 1-1. Low and away. 2 balls and a strike. 8 runs, 11 hits now for the Indians. No runs, 2 hits for Cincinnati. One very questionable error on a call made by Jim Wolf, the second base umpire, allowing the Indians to keep the inning alive. And you get those extra chances, you take advantage. But how about this? That was only the 2nd hit this year for the Indians with the bases loaded, 2 out.
Yeah, they've had a tough time, a tough go at it this year with the bases loaded. But you know, we're looking around, a lot of teams have this year. When you look around baseball, a lot of teams have had problems with the bases loaded.
Two on, 2 out, and for the second time tonight, the Indians will send at least 8 men to the plate as Shin-Soo Choo steps in. You've got that, Rick. You've got teams struggling in bases loaded situations and teams struggling at home. It's weird how 2 pretty significant categories have affected not just one team or a few teams, but almost every team.
Well, I know the home streak has pretty much affected everybody. The Indians, the only team over the 500 mark in the Central Division at home. Seven teams in the American League have losing records at home, and 4 of them are in the Central Division.
Wow. I don't know what that means, but it's
I don't
odd.
either, because it's still early, but and you certainly want to turn it around, but that's where you really want to play well.
Up high. Tried to get him to chase one. That's low, 2-2. The Indians are on the verge of running their record to 31-19 against right-handed starters this year. The lefties have had their number. They're 5-13 against southpaw starters. But not surprising when you've got a practically all left-handed hitting lineup, with the exception of a couple of switch hitters. And occasionally a Shelley Duncan or a Jose Lopez. Now the 2-2. Choo's out looking. He doesn't like the call. But the Indians tack on 3 more. Lonnie Chisenhall with 3 ribbies. And it's 8-zip Cleveland.
Presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Santa! What's he doing out in June?
It's not Christmas in July yet.
Right. Boy, that's a dead ringer.
As Drupal Cabrera kicked it and can't make the play. That's going to be another error on his dribble on about as routine a play as he could ever hope to have.
Yeah, that right there, he's gonna shake his head. I mean, routine right there. Just hit him in the heel of the glove. By the time he gets it, it's not going to work out.
Scott rolling 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. He was robbed on a terrific play to end the 5th inning by Shin-Soo Choo. Choo on a dead run and then had to turn around and just threw his glove up and made a great catch. And that would have extended the inning, and Roland would have had at least a double. This was the play. As Choo on a dead sprint just spun around and made it.
Yes,
it was over his head. That was a great play.
We'll see if Justin can pick up his little shortstop there and get the 2-for-1 ball, but he gets the strikeout ball.
5th strikeout for Justin.
Nice slider. Outside edge, right on the corner. Look how tight. Right there, perfect pitch.
Todd Frazier leans back, ball 1. Frazier 0 for 9 in the series. He has struck out 5 times. A little bit low, 2-0. Cardinals now lead the Tigers 3-1. They're in the bottom of the 8th in Detroit. White Sox with a 2-0 lead over the Cubs. They're in the 4th at U.S. Cellular. Back over the screen. Hey, tomorrow night at Cleveland Browns Stadium, parents who coach football have the opportunity to learn everything from strength and conditioning to preparing kids for college. Experts include the Browns staff, college coaches, many more. Register clevelandbrowns.com for the Parents Football Clinic. Missed inside, 3-1. Lou Marson out to talk with Masterson. This will be his 90th pitch of the night. He hasn't been deep into many counts. He hasn't been behind.
Second 3-ball count.
I think the other one Phillips?
Votto.
There's a bullseye and a full count now to Frazier. Hit fair past Chisenhall, down the line, into the corner. And a double for Frazier, 2nd and 3rd with 1 out here in the 8th for Cincinnati.
Only the 3rd hit and the first extra base hit. So he knew Masterson was going to throw him that fastball he was looking for. This guy's a good fastball hitter. He went right at him. This one flattened out, stayed belt high, middle in, turned on it down the 3rd base line. So after the leadoff error, it's 2nd and 3rd. Now Cincinnati has an opportunity to bust up Masterson's shutout.
Willie Harris 0 for 2. Couple of ground outs tonight. Hit on the ground to second. Lopez will take the out at first where Masterson covers, and the Reds get on the board. Harris with just his 2nd RBI on the year. That's an unearned run, by the way. Justin Masterson's consecutive scoreless inning streak ends at 18.
That is too bad. An unearned run cost him.
That hit Marson right on the toe. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because that should have been the inning over.
Yeah, he
right
would have
there.
had 2 outs before Frazier even got the base knock. So it's too bad. And this guy's been brilliant all year long. He's had a tough couple of days defensively.
But he's also the reason you got the big lead too.
Well, and he won the game last night. So I mean, you're going to have a couple of lapses defensively, and unfortunately, it was with an 8-0 ball game there.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that over the weekend with Pittsburgh. It's 8-0, so you boot a ball. Okay. But, Justin still, he bears down and gave up the double. That's fine. He's throwing the ball great tonight.
Down the line, but foul by a couple of feet. Would Justin Masterson love to have a shutout? Sure. He's got as much pride as anybody who goes out there and toes the rubber. He wants to dominate. He'd love to get a goose egg and a complete game and all that, but at the end of the day, he's always been about team, and as long as they get the W, he's not going to pout.
No, he's not going to say a word. He's going to come up. He'll be the first one to go to Cabrera and say, don't worry about it, pal. You're right. He's total team player.
Right now, Justin wants to put away Ryan Hannigan and end the inning. The 1-2. Got him! Masterson's 6th strikeout of the night. And now he's 3 outs away from a complete game victory. (8-1) Tribe on top, bottom of the 8th inning. Cincinnati goes back to the bullpen, and Logan Ondrusek on for the 2nd time in the series. Big, tall right-hander. He'll be facing the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Indians.
A couple of big innings today for the Indians has hit them in. A big 5-run 4th inning. 2-run homer by Johnny Damon, a 3-run home run by Asdrubal Cabrera. They added on 3 more in the bottom half of the 7th. They have 11 hits on the night. And after losing 2 out of 3 to Pittsburgh over the weekend, they have bounced back and played Cincinnati very well. A 10-9 win on Monday. A walk-off yesterday. And a good old-fashioned blowout today.
Indians climbing back to the top spot in the American League Central Division after the White Sox have struggled with their crosstown rival, the Cubs, although the White Sox trying to salvage the finale of that series tonight, leading 2-0. 2-1 to Cabrera. Missed again. 3 balls, 1 strike. Back out of play in a full count. Fouled back. Well, we talked about it before. Indians going to hit the road, long road trip, 10 games in 10 days, and they come back home for a week before the All-Star break, and then it's like, are you kidding me? It's already here. I mean, that fast.
Yeah, you're right. The All-Star break is here. And I'll tell you what, the second half goes faster than the first.
Ball 4, Cabrera draws a leadoff walk, and then Rick, you know, after the All-Star break, that's when the countdown is really going to be on to trade deadline talk. And what's going to be really interesting as you take a look at the Hyundai box score tonight, brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. Go see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. Now, granted, a lot can change in a couple of weeks in baseball. As we've seen, you can go from the top of the division to you could fall to third place with one bad week. But just sitting here as of today, I count about 7 teams that I could say today legitimately will be sellers at the trading deadline. That number could go up, it could go down, but you're going to be in that reasonable ballpark. Anywhere between 5, probably at the fewest. And
you're looking all the way through 8. Baseball.
Yeah, all the way through baseball.
Well, you know the Cubs are going to be one.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in the East, even Boston, they're 7 games out, but you know they're not going to have a fire sale unless they drop 10 in a row unexpectedly. I think the Twins will be looking to sell. Seattle, potentially Oakland, but I don't know. The A's are always tricky. You never know. I don't think anybody in the NL East. And I think both Houston and Chicago will be looking to move some pieces. Same with Colorado and San Diego. So the speculation will begin in earnest over the next several weeks because there are so many more teams this year with the carrot of the extra postseason spot.
Yeah.
More teams are going to be thinking, hey, you know, if we add one more guy, we could be in the hunt here. So it's going to make it interesting. 1-2.
Or it may make it tougher.
Well, I think
to try and pick somebody up as well.
1 down here in the 8th. What you're going to have, my view, in my opinion, is there's going to be more speculation and more trade talk, more banter, fueled by rumors and GMs who want to get a rumor started. They may drop a little hint to a writer who runs with it because they want to see what happens and what reaction gets out there. There'll be more of that, but ultimately might be less action.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be harder.
There's always speculation. That drives me nuts. There's enough of that already. Let's go ahead and make a trade. Yeah, you hear everything, and those are the ones that are never made, everything you hear about.
The Indians seem to historically have a pretty good track record of being progressive, being ahead of the curve. They're not a team that waits right till the deadline generally. They're going to make a move. They try to get out in front of everybody. And Manny Acta, he's been asked about it. He said, hey, look, I understand we're not a perfect team. I'm not going to sit here and say, no, we're good with what we have. We're just going to cruise the rest of the way. But it takes 2 to tango.
Well, it takes 2 to tango, but you also have to give up something if you want to get something in return. I mean, you just can't throw 3 or 4 guys together that you're not going to use and say, okay, we want your best player. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not that easy to make trades anymore.
You're either going to have to part with a young prize prospect, or you're going to have to take a sizable financial chunk.
If you're going to take a player that has
we want to move a guy because we don't want to pay him anymore. So if you'll take the money, we'll take a lesser prospect. So you've got you weigh the two.
Yeah.
Carlos Santana strikes out looking. 2 down here in the 8th. Chop to third. Roland goes to second to end the inning. And we'll go to the 9th. 8-1 Cleveland. Here we go. 9th inning, Justin Masterson trying to finish what he started here tonight. He'll face the top of the lineup for Cincinnati. Tony Sipp getting loose in the Indians bullpen just in case. You see Justin just shy of 100 pitches on the night. Looking for his 4th career complete game. In his last 3 starts now, he's pitched 22 innings, and he's given up 1 earned run.
Well, I'm glad he's had the opportunity to finish this ball game, something you start. It'll only be the 2nd one for the Indians, should he do that this year. The other one, Derek Lowe in Minnesota. You know, you don't see it too much anymore, but it's nice when you do. He certainly deserves it today.
And the 1-2 fouled back. Reds do not have a hit after they've been down 0-2 or 1-2. They're 0 for 9. And again, they only have 3 hits, period. A little bit outside, couldn't get him to chase. Swung on and missed. He gets another strikeout, and Masterson has now fanned 7 on the night.
Trying to do it in style. But you're right. That's why earlier in the game when he had some of the few pitch innings, these guys were trying to get after him early, because when he gets the 2 strikes on you, they haven't had any success. That's where he gets his punch outs. So they're saying, I wanted to get after him early, and it certainly benefits him later on in the ball game.
Chris Heisey had the first Cincinnati hit of the game back in the 4th inning. The only other hits allowed, a 2-out single by Joey Votto in the 7th and a 1-out double by Frazier in the 8th. Fouled back, it's 0-2. The Indians' largest margin of victory this year was a 6-run win, and they've done that 3 times. They lead by 7 here tonight. Swing and a miss. He got him. 2 down in the 9th. 8 strikeouts for Justin.
Just another hard biting slider. Swing and a miss. Another good pitch. 8 punch outs.
And a first pitch strike to Joey Votto, who is 1 out of 3 on the night. It's up high, 1-1. And a strike called. Got him looking. Masterson with a complete game victory here tonight. Strikes out the side in the 9th. He finishes with 9 strikeouts on the night, his 4th career complete game, as the Indians sweep the Cincinnati Reds to split the Ohio Cup in 2012. 8-1 is your final score tonight, as Drupal Cabrera with a 2-out 3-run homer in the 4th. Following Johnny Damon's 2-run homer in that same inning, Lonnie Chisenhall the 2-out 3-run double. And the Indians roll to an 8-1 victory to finish up the homestand in grand style. Tonight's key play of the game is brought to you by KeyBank.
Boy, and look no farther than the center of the diamond, and Justin Masterson on the mound today was a true gem. Got an early double play in the first inning off to Joey Votto, and then he went to work with a great sinker, great sliders, and made it look easy tonight. I mean, he was perfect through about 5 innings as far as facing the number of hitters he had to face. And it was moving all over the place. And he does it in grand fashion in the 9th inning, where he walks out to get the 2nd complete game of the year. He strikes out the side, and that is beautifully done. And you know, Lou Marson certainly appreciates, and so do the Indians.
Play of the game brought to you by KeyBank, the home of relationship rewards. Earn reward points, redeem for gifts. Terrific win for the Indians. And, you know, not only did Masterson fire a gem here tonight, but if you go back to last night, what Josh Tomlin and the bullpen did, in their last 19 innings of work now as a staff, the Indians have given up a total of just 3 runs. So that's a very good trend as you project this club heading out on a monstrous 10-game road trip that will start in Houston Friday night.
Well, after they fell 2 out of 3 to Pittsburgh on the weekend, I'll tell you, and Cincinnati sweeping them last week, it was beautiful to see that they bounced back. They won a big offensive game on Monday night, and they went on a walk-off fashion. Then Justin Masterson comes back, and he really, throws a gem tonight. You couldn't ask for anything any better. To head out on the road, you got an off day to enjoy this ball game, and then, we'll board a plane tomorrow night and head to Houston for 3. So this is just what the doctor ordered. It was a terrific game.
Last Indians pitcher with a complete game here at home, Josh Tomlin, who accomplished the feat back in September of 2010. Hey, we're coming back with our interview with the star of the game right after this.